I have to take these sheets of veneer and seam them together to create wider panels. And I have a pretty simple method for doing it, so I figure I'd show y'all. So I'm here getting my material ready for woodworking in America. And the pattern that I want to do for my talk requires a rather wide field veneer. And the material I want to use, which is this quarter sawn cherry, is only so wide. So what I can do in that circumstance is just take these two sheets of veneer and edge glue them together. Now, if I just did that as is, you can see it closes up here, but there is a slight gap here. So I will be able to glue this together, and I might be able to stretch that gap closed, but the chances of it opening up as I work through are pretty high, and I've learned that from experience. So the best thing to do is to make sure that there are absolutely no gaps before I glue this up. So how do I do that? Now, if you're a woodworker, you already know what the problem is. It's that either one or both of those edges is not straight or jointed. So I could fix that by taking it over to my jointer, but this thing is a big, scary power machine, and this is thin, delicate veneer, and those two do not mix, in my opinion. So I would rather joint this with a hand plane. Now, I could take these sheets and clamp them in a bench vise and try to joint it the old-fashioned way, but I'm never going to be able to keep a plane balanced on this edge. So I'll show you what I do instead. Now, I've definitely shared this before, but it's worth sharing again. If you take a look here, you can see I have a narrow piece of plywood that is just nailed and glued to a wider piece of plywood. Then taken a hand plane. I have a number 7 here just because the sole is very long, but really any hand plane will work. And now what I can do is take a sheet of veneer and press it up against the toe of that plane and advance it into that blade by using a push block to press against the plane and also downward pressure against this piece of plywood. And then I can push this through and use it as though it's a jointer. And it will work. After just a few passes, that gap will close up. Now, to keep this from shifting around on the bench, I put a little sandpaper on the bottom of it, but you could figure out a way to clamp this down if you want. Now, after I've closed up that gap, all I have to do is take those 2 sheets of veneer, stretch some tape over them, open up that joint like a book, spread a bead of glue down there, close it up, tape it up, and then I'll be good to go once that glue dries.